okay, I'm just over that, you know, the AARP's coming after me, so I can go do that now, so I can be an elder. But at the same time, you know, I learned from you, and I have a lot of respect for you and young people and the world that you're navigating now. You know, when I was 9, I changed my name to Willy as this young trans child. It was like 1970. And I grew up in the Bay Area, and of course there was no resources, no community, no cultural awareness, nothing that could support my family to navigate through that. And of course no systemic support in the school system, no down providers that could help me understand that. So I always felt that it was a revolutionary act to be a masculine person in an Asian female body, because everything that came at me was that, oh, you know, you're supposed to be this accommodating, you know, lotus blossom or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? This sort of like, you know, you don't have anything to say. You're there to ensure that other people aren't hurt. It wasn't an option to come out as trans in the early 80s. There was no trans movement, and there was no trans visibility. There certainly wasn't any visibility for transmasculine experience. So I came out as a lesbian, which was a little strange because I never saw myself as a woman. So I had to first come out as a woman. And I realized there was a lot of empowerment in that, because this was a time where women were marching in the streets at night, taking back the night, the right to walk the streets at night. You know, women were looking at healthcare access issues and how it was male-dominated and how we needed to change so many things. So there was a way in which that was a really empowering experience to recognize my experience as a female-bodied person and as a woman. I could come out as a woman, and then I came out as a lesbian, and then I came out as a lesbian couple. All right, I hear that. Thank you. And you know, I have to say, it is hard to be trans. It is hard to be gender nonconforming. So, if you will, who here identifies as trans or gender nonconforming? Woo! All right. All right. Thank you. I'm glad you're here at this Queer Asian Conference. I am glad to see you here. All right. Who here plays mahjong? All right. Okay. Now, with my family, you know, we snack a lot, we laugh a lot, we have nicknames for all the tiles, and we have a good time. And so when I was growing up, my mother said, okay, when we got married, we would each get a mahjong set. So in 1984, see, I told you I'm old ass, I came home. I was living in Boston at the time, and I was about to publish this article called Asian Lesbianism as a Political Identity in Sojourner, this women's newspaper out of Boston. You know, it was unlikely my parents were going to see this newspaper, but I thought, if I'm publishing about this, I really should come out to my parents. So I came home, we had dinner, my parents, my siblings, and I. My dad was trying to make conversation. I was like, so freaked out and nervous. I was responding with these terse, one-word responses, just real awkward. You know, so finally my sister pulled me into the bathroom and she said, you need to tell them. Mom thinks you don't like the food. You need to tell them. And so I came out, I was like, okay. Mom, Dad, I'm a lesbian. And, you know, as my brother said, you know, they weren't the kind of people who were going to run me out with a shotgun. But, you know, what ensued was an amazing conversation that I had, a kind of conversation I'd never had with my parents. And I felt this profound sense of relief. And so the next day, I came back to my parents' house and I told my mom, I said, Mom, I'm never getting married. I mean, and this was 1984, you know, long before I could imagine that I could get married in any particular way. But I said, okay, Mom, I'm never getting married. Can I have my mahjong set? And my mom was like, no. Well, so I went back to Boston, and 3 months later, it was my birthday, and I came home to find this rectangular, very hefty box on my doorstep. And I opened it up, and there was my mahjong set. I just want to leave you with that, because I know that, you know, you may be navigating your own challenges. I just want you to remember that there is always hope. And there is a great beauty in living your life authentically. So keep on being yourselves. And I hope that you enjoyed the conference. So, all right, thank you so much.